Hello everyone, it's me Hunter. I'm back with another MOC today. This is kind of, I'd say, falls into the larger medium category. There are some things I like about this MOC. There's some things I definitely don't like about this MOC. But I am a part of Kenobi LUG, which I think right now is, at least at the time of recording this video, is really only on Instagram. And feel free to check out the account there. But we decided to do a collab project, and it went through several different phases of changing. Went from here's the idea to this is now what we're going to do. So that's why this base ended up kind of the way it was. There was a story with it, and then there wasn't, and then so it kind of ended up with this weird hodgepodge. There's a lot of stuff, like I said, I like about this map. There's also stuff I don't like. I think I kind of took some cool liberties on the inside, but I also feel like it ends up being a very dull mock when I pull back out the shot. And one last thing I'd like to mention is I did my best to clean off my table, but I got a lot of projects going on right now. So there is you're probably going to see the mess behind it, but I tried to clear up the area next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, the camera. This is a Scarif mock, as I was saying. I know that there's not much to the base, and I get that, especially the roof. Due to the time constraints for the collab that we wanted to get done and my busy schedule, this is the best I could do. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to admit this, I struggle with the roof designs. I know roof. I think someone said something about this in one of my other mocks. I say roof. I know it's roof, when I kind of just casually talk, but the roof, again, however you want to say it, the top of the mock, the ceiling, whatever you want to call it. I tried to spice it up by really just adding in the tie striker. And then another thing you'll notice about this mock, there's really no vegetation. That is because I really had a small border of natural, just the sand, and I did have a little bit of the water, because the idea is that the larger lake and everything's over here, and then the base is along the side, the water's edge. I will continue. We're going to go through, break down the full mock in just a minute, but I just want to get you on an overview, and then right now, actually, we're going to go ahead, jump into the outside. Let's go. Alright, so that was the review of the whole mock. Sorry if it sounds a little loud. I'm like right up against the camera. As I was saying earlier, my whole area is a mess right now. But I really hope you enjoyed it. I know there's some stuff that's lacking on it, but I know a lot of people probably end up really liking it. I'm going to take a break from mocks this size, or this scale, at least base-wise. I really like doing the terrain builds, and I think that's what I'm going to stick with for at least for a while, until I can get a roof design down. Some smaller builds, I have a really easier time with the roof, but whatever reason, when I get something this big, I just can't do it. I apologize for the structural, when I was talking about on the inside with the these detailings right here. I built the wall a certain way, or I built it up. I didn't realize it was going to be as tall as it was, and that's why there was that mistake there, but I've already explained that. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed the mock. I had fun doing it. As stressful as it actually was, I had a lot of fun with it. But it kind of goes to show you that I just pushed through, even though, as I was saying earlier, I liked the walls, and then I didn't. And then the outside, I was hoping to have more room for stuff, and I didn't, just because I wanted to make this pad as big as it was, as I was saying. But I'm going to stop kind of complaining and knocking myself down, because I know a lot of you out there are probably going to love this either way. So please rate, comment, subscribe. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead, follow me on there as well. I'm a lot more active on there, because obviously it's easier to post a photo or two than record, edit, and upload a video. But otherwise, I will see you in my next video. So to start on the outside of the base, you're looking at kind of the land. It's not really a landing pad. It's kind of, I just call it the pad, because it's just an outside area for, maybe vehicles or whatever would land over here, or just to have some supplies and stuff. I do have a pair of shore troopers walking across the pad, which is very open. I kind of put a plus in the middle, and then I have, as you can see over here, yellow triangle or kind of edges. I was going to do all four, but it didn't look too good, so I just did the two outside corners and then the plus. If I had more yellow, I would have made this a little bigger. I would have gone 2 by 2 plates out in each direction. But I still really liked this. At first, I didn't like the idea of the pad, and then as I filled the whole thing in, it came out very nice. As you can see, I got 2 smaller crates there, some canisters over here, and then these the Rogue One crates. I really like these. I want to build more. I also went ahead and I added these on the outside too. Just I looked at the Scarif build, and I really liked how it kind of had these. I don't even know what you want to call them. It's just more for detailing on the edge of the pads, and I really like that, so I incorporated that into this build. I also have 2 more Shore Troopers. I put all the Shore Troopers I had into this mock. As you'll notice, so they're going to be the ones from the poly bags that came out. This guy right here. I got a whole bunch of those for cheap at work, so I'm using those as my main Shore Trooper units. We're just going to continue this way. This is kind of would be the edge, you know, of the lake or the kind of river that cuts between the 2 islands. I always like the idea of putting the base along the edge of the water, not facing the water, not facing away from it, but along the edge. We continue back. I got 2 more Shore Troopers over here. Just more patrolling. I really liked how this wall turned out. I knew in the long run I was going to end up with a box. Just that's the way it was going to work. I tried to get the ends to slope in. I just didn't have the parts for it at this time. I wanted to make this, I wanted to order in as little parts as possible because I have other, so you can kind of see over there, I got some other builds coming. But this came out really well, just using 1x1s. In hindsight, I probably should have used 1x2s so it kind of stuck to the wall a little better because they're a little flimsy. But I think it still looks good. It looks nice, catches the idea. This gray stripe, I should have gone through and I should have put another one up top here. But to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention because you can't see the gray stripe on the inside. And I was focusing on getting the walls tall enough for the walkers on the inside. And next thing I knew, I was way up here and I didn't have that, I didn't center it. But I still think it adds just enough detail, kind of just subtle, and I like that idea of it. We'll continue around the outside here. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done a recording, so that's why I'm a little choppy, I'm a little not with it. But we kind of continue, it just continues all the way back along here. I got 2 more patrol, or Shore Troopers on patrol here. But something I thought would be funny to add in is I had an odd number because I didn't put the 1 out there in, and I used the Han Solo and Carbonite face, and I got just a trooper napping on the job. I thought that'd be kind of fun to add in. I've been liking the idea of adding a little bit of comedy into each build. A comedy or an homage, like my really big Clone Outpost build, I had these guys. I'm right next to them, so that's why I'm going to show them to you. My cousin designed them, and he got me the Lego, so I added them in there. So that was pretty cool. But otherwise, this is the outside of the build. I don't want to talk too long, unless I want to make this... Oh, and then obviously I got the TIE Striker up here just to add something to the roof, try to hide the whole ugliness of nothing. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take the roof off, and we're going to go ahead, look at the inside. I'll explain more about what this base is, and let's go. Alright, and now we're looking at the inside of the MOC. Obviously taking the roof off, get all the lights in. I would like to go out and buy lights, to add to the base. I just don't know if I've really gotten to that level yet of adding in the lights. It's just easier for me to remove the roofs and whatnot. Which reminds me, when we get the command center, I don't have to take that off. But the idea is, way back when we started the collab, it was going to be the idea of after the events of Rogue One, the Empire returns to the far side, the opposite side of Jedha. Since there was only a single Death Star reactor ignition, it didn't destroy the whole planet just like Jedha, it just took out a big chunk. So the Empire, the story was the Empire decided that the Rebels would think it was a whole loss, so they went back and developed just some small research facilities still on Scarif. So my part of the collab was supposed to be, since Scarif, or the Battle of Scarif is kind of like a good bridge, at least a bridge I like to call, between Rebels and the original trilogy. You have the Empire here testing out the difference between the ATST and the ATDP. The idea is before they mass produce these, would be, for the main area, the main trilogy era, is that they compared them and they ended up going with the ATST because it was better. I like the idea. One of the big things I always wanted to incorporate into this build was this kind of platform that hovered. You got an officer on there, you know, running some data, some information. I really like that idea, and I went through 2 ideas in my head. This is the one that worked best in real life. The other idea was I was going to put a gate either on the long end or the short end, and have the short ends covered, and gates, little open gates or ramps that drop down. It just didn't work out because it went from looking sleek, kind of like this. I'll actually even just pull this out so we can look at it, to being really bulky. And I didn't like that. I like the sleekness of this design. And the idea is actually by the time it got done, this is how they get on and up to the command center. So when we get over to there, you'll kind of see how I designed that. So we're going to put that guy back there. Otherwise, we just have troopers, regular stormtroopers stationed throughout, walking around, guarding the area. And then I also have some more crates in here. I really like this crate design. I just came across it. I had some extra parts lying around, and I really liked it. I hope that's in focus. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of feel silly if it's not in focus. But I really enjoyed that, building those little crates. We got the ATDP drivers and the ATST driver chatting it up. I got one of the ATST drivers talking with another kind of officer or worker. I got a guy over there using a really big, you know, Lego-wise, it looks, you know, compared to the person, a really big torch, just welding and working on the ATST. But I came across that piece. I think they were started using the Nexonites when I bought the Senna, McLaren Senna came with an extra one, and I had that kind of lightsaber hilt piece lying around. I know it's not really a hilt, lightsaber hilt, but that's kind of what I call like an alternate version or sword hilt. And it kind of like, it kind of gives off the idea of a futuristic welding torch. So let's do that. In the back, I got another set of, or just another random crate, and some Rhydonian canisters for fuel. As we know, the Republic or Separatists, I think, used them as fuel. And I think the Republic. And then, so I thought cool to have the Empire with a whole bunch of canisters. Sat down and made those. That was a lot of fun. Working your way back, I have another set of ATDP drivers talking with another kind of worker, an inspector. And then we just have another ATDP just chilling out with 2 stormtroopers standing guard. What I like about the floor plan, too, is I used the kind of grades or the grills to represent where the walker stood. As you can see, I used dark tan underneath. At first, I wasn't sure. I thought about redoing it all, or at least that area, but I found that the dark tan kind of looks nice. It just adds a little bit more color to the MOC. And then obviously having the caution lines around worked out really well. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't realize how much I was going to like it until it was in. On the walls here, I have these, just kind of these large detailing panels. Originally, the idea was the wall, it would be like kind of like the outside here, how this sticks out. It would probably stick out by 2 studs. And then in the middle I would have this. So really these would end up behind the walkers. So I'd have like here sticking out just to add more detail to the wall. It never happened, just due to some other work and stuff I had to do, or I was too focused on, so that never happened. Got some stormtroopers standing guard there to the entrance. Just some kind of where all the information storage, just a whole bunch of computer systems underneath there. You know, tucked away in that alcove, I guess, underneath the command center. And then you can see on the back corner there and over there, just some more little bit of wall detailing. I'm going to walk around the side of my table so I can get closer. And with that, you can all get closer to the command center. This came out really well. I was shocked. I always wanted to have a raised command center in mind, and really that's my idea. This is like the main focus of the MOC is this. Though there's some parts I don't like about it, that was always my main focus, this, and kind of the idea of having these bays for the walkers. But you have the platform here. You can see how it's open on each end. The idea is that that's how people get up and down. I know I only have one of these. In reality, I wanted to build a couple more, but I didn't have these parts, and I was kind of lacking in some areas. I misplaced some other parts that I was looking for. But we have 2 office kind of commanding officers here overseeing the whole event, watching the troopers at work. I got 2 more troopers up top, station guard, And then I came up with this railing, this front railing. I hated all the dark gray. I really liked how the yellow looked. And honestly, yellow with dark gray and yellow with light gray, I guess medium stone gray and dark stone gray, if you want to get super accurate, looks very nice. I really liked it. The top here, I just try to come up with some fancy detailing. If I were to go back, I'd switch these. So the dark gray would be the ones that came up here, and the light bluish gray, light stone, medium stone gray would go in the middle. But then again, I almost liked the idea that it was reversed, so that's why I kept it. But we can go ahead and we can pop this roof off. I'm going to actually set you guys down. This part I made a lot more, I'm going to use the term playable, I guess. We can just remove that whole section. Look in here, there's not much to it. Just because this was all supposed to be built a little quicker and it never happened. But inside, obviously looking at the front, you can see you got these big computer screens. There's control panels and stuff down there. Both control panels are built exactly the same. Got two officers in here. You got the ATSD information showing up on this computer, ATDP information showing up on that computer. That's the idea behind it. You got an entrance over here, entrance over there, and you know, your big viewing windows, which are very common in Star Wars bases. But otherwise, that's pretty much the whole thing. I can kind of give you a look over here. Like I said, the only issue I had was over here. For whatever reason, when I was building it, it originally was like, oh, I'll just have these build centered so they don't sponge out as much. You can kind of see over here how it sponges out away from the wall. But the idea is like these were centered. These whole things were centered, so it wasn't an issue. But then when I had to move them up because of the height of the wall, they sponged out on top, and I never had a time to go back in and place the same parts I used to hold it in, like over here, because I knew that side was going to be the tallest, so I cranked out that side to see how tall it needed to be to fit the ATDPs in there. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this on, back on. I'll try to actually show you. But as you can see here, it's just two 2x2 jumper plates. Very basic. I won't latch it. I guess I can latch it back down. But I will say I really like this. I might even keep like this roof put together, and I might try to build just something smaller with it. But I really like that. Say what you want. I know a lot of people are going to be indifferent, but I'm going to go ahead, and I've been talking for way too long, so I'm just going to go ahead, cut out, put all this back up, and end the video.